Hi, everyone. It's me, Omegers, the person who runs the character sharing voice actors account. I'm not sure if this is how many of you were expecting me to sound like. Those who have followed me for a bit or follow me on my personal account know that I identify as a she, they trans girl. For personal reasons, I've decided not to voice train just yet, but maybe in about 6 months, I'll be sounding a little different. But on to the main topic of this video. It's the 1 year anniversary of the character sharing voice actors account. It's kind of hard to believe it's been an entire year. To me, it feels like it's been both way shorter and way longer than that. If you've seen my post about this video, then you already know that I've got 3 things in mind to go over. You can find the timestamps for each section in the video description if there's any part in particular you want to skip to. First up is the Q&A. I've got a few questions that were submitted to me through the form I set up. Not too many, but I think there's some good questions. Next up, we have the Post Hall of Fame. I'll be going over all my greatest hits of the year in chronological order to highlight how my first year running the account has gone. The last part of the video is mostly just going to be me yapping for a bit about my journey exploring the art of voice acting, and starting the Character VA account and how much it's all meant to me. This is my first attempt at a longer form video, so I hope you all stick around to see what I've cooked up. Something I did want to address real quick before I start getting into the actual questions for the Q&A is on the topic of requests. I know it's been a while since I've opened up my DMs for requests, and I'm really sorry for everyone who's been waiting to submit something, but I do only take requests when I've opened up my DMs for them. I've gotten some people here and there who ask for requests outside of this window, and while I appreciate the enthusiasm, it's much easier for me to compile and keep track of everyone's requests through DMs. If you ever requested something outside of my DMs, then hang tight. I should be opening them up within the next month or so. With that being said, let's get started with the questions. So this first question is from Price from Wiki, who asks, after receiving so many submissions of foreign dub actors, is there a dub performance in a language you don't speak that stuck with you? If yes, can you name one? Well, I only speak English, so this one has plenty of requests I can choose from, but I can highlight 3 that I really like. So the first one I'm going to highlight is this one by Nate Shikomo. I grew up around the time where the We Are Number One song was blowing up as a meme, so this one just kind of reminds me of that period of my life. And, it's just funny with this contrast between Robbie Rotten from a kid's show with Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad and, by extension, Better Call Saul. Just the contrast between those 2 shows is just really funny to me and made me really like this one. This next one I'm going to highlight is by Hey Marco 95. This one is just so niche in a way that I just love. The male Wii Fit trainer from the Wii Fit series and Jackbox from the Jack in the Box commercials have the same voice actor in Spanish. Obviously, like I said, I only speak English, so this would have been basically impossible for me to find on my own. But with that being said, I think that just makes it so much better for me personally. It's just so great. I love this request, and yeah. This last one I wanted to highlight is by Mystified Beef 12. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars and Sephiroth from Final Fantasy. When you think about who these characters are, it's just they can't be more opposites. And I love Star Wars, which I guess is a reason why I love this one request so much. But it's just funny to me when you think about who these 2 are as characters, and you think about how they share the same voice actor in Japanese. So yeah. So that's 3 requests in particular I wanted to highlight. I've received so many more requests for non-English voice performances from so many people, and I just wanted to take the time to thank everyone who's ever sent in one of those requests. The Character VA account is about celebrating voice acting as a whole, and voice acting doesn't just include English-speaking performances. I would have never found out about basically every request I received for non-English performances, and it means a lot that there's people out there who love the art of voice acting all over the world who also follow me on the account. So thank you. This next question is from Keith Lim 8764, who asks, who's your favorite voice actor and voice actress of all time? My favorite voice actor, I've talked about him a few times on the account before, it's Alex Lee. I love Alex. He has such a great range of characters he's voiced, it's kind of insane. He's a super hard worker too. I remember there was an article I read a while back interviewing him about his journey through voice acting and everything he's done and continues to do within the industry. I love his YouTube videos too. Being a voice actor and content creator is something I've dreamed of doing for a long time, and Alex is who I aspire to be like. I hope I'm able to be as hardworking as him in my own way in the future. My favorite voice actress is Erica Lindbeck. She's voiced a ton of characters I love: Futaba from Persona 5, Morgana from League of Legends, and Peppermint from Hi-Fi Rush, to name a few. In particular, though, she voiced Celica from Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia. Echoes is one of my favorite games of all time, and one of the big reasons for that is the relationship between Alm and Celica throughout the game. Erica does such a great job with Celica, and it's a performance that's stuck with me throughout the years. This next question is from Zero Bendy, and they ask, is there any media with the voice acting that you dislike but has a performance that you enjoy? Yeah, I'd say Ray Chase's Reese from Borderlands 3. When I got my new laptop and finally had the ability to play games I wanted to play for years, one of the first games I picked up was Borderlands 3. I was super excited to play it because I was a big fan of BL2 growing up and always wanted to experience what BL3 was like. I knew everyone said the story and writing was horrible, but I didn't expect it to be as bad as it was when I actually got to play the game. The writing is, in fact, horrible, but Ray Chase's Reese was a welcome reprieve from it all. Reese's dialogue still wasn't very good, but Ray did a great job with it. He's another one of my favorite voice actors, and the fact he made the terrible dialogue in Borderlands 3 bearable is one of the reasons why. And finally, we have our last question here, submitted by someone anonymous. They simply ask, what's your favorite Pokemon? So I've actually only played one real Pokemon game in my entire life, and that's the original version of Pokemon Gold on the Game Boy Color. Back in middle school, I had a phase where I really wanted a Game Boy for some reason, and using some birthday money, I was able to get a Game Boy Color plus a copy of Pokemon Gold. I was also really into collecting Pokemon cards in elementary school because there was a whole trading scene going on at the school I went to, and I wanted to get involved. It was around the time Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire released, so the vast majority of my collection today is from the packs that were released alongside those two games. With all that being said, I guess my favorite Pokemon is Eevee. I picked Cyndaquil when I played Gold, and if you've played Gold, then you probably know how overpowered Typhlosion is in that game. And I also had a big desire to own a Vulpix in real life growing up, but Eevee is still my favorite Pokemon. Most of that has to do with Flareon, because I always thought Flareon looked so fluffy and I wanted a plushie of it, which unfortunately I never got. So I guess technically Flareon would be my favorite. I also remember like Sylveon growing up, which, haha, the T-girl likes Sylveon. But Flareon and Eevee just still remain my favorites. All right, so that's all the questions I received for the Q&A. Thank you to everyone who submitted a question to the forum, and I hope I gave some good answers to the things you asked. Next up is the winner of the original poll that I made on what this video would be about, the Character Sharing Voice Actors Hall of Fame. I'll be going over some of the greatest hits over the past year and talking a little bit about each. The first post entering the Hall of Fame is actually the first official post on the account, which is Makoto Yuki from Persona 3 Reload and Bruce Lee from Naraka Blade Point being voiced by Alex Lee. Yes, Bruce Lee, as in the Bruce Lee. His likeness was used for a collaboration in the game. You can tell this was my first post because this was before I figured out how to actually crop photos on Twitter. Cuzzle2, the creator of the original Same Voice Actor Daily account, is actually the person who showed me how to do that, so huge thanks to him. I'll be talking about him a couple more times in this video, but yeah. To this day, this is probably still my favorite post, not just because it's the first official one I made, but I also just think it's really funny. I remember when I was in class when I went to go post this, and I was just so nervous. Same Voice Actor Daily meant a lot to me, and I was wondering if it was even a good idea to try and continue what Cuzzle did. But I'm really glad I ended up going with it because I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't. I also posted a clip in the replies of a stream by Maximilian Dude where he and Alex played some Naraka and talked about him getting to voice Bruce Lee. I would recommend you watch the video of it on YouTube. It's pretty insightful, and it's also pretty funny. The next post entering the Hall of Fame is actually the very first shitpost I ever made for the account. And it was this one, which I made for the post about Garen from League of Legends and Sojiro from Persona 5 both being voiced by Jameson Price. I made a quote tweet of it sometime later where I basically admitted I only made that post just as an excuse to make this shit post. Not really much to say. It's pretty basic, just like, a name sound alike thing. But we'll be getting into some of the bigger shit posts later. So, yeah. This post, I believe, is the first ever post that I made to break 100 likes. I may be wrong on that, but I believe it is. It's Hinata Hyuga from Naruto, has the same voice actors as Emma from Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, voiced by Stephanie Sheh. As you can see, this one was suggested by Cuzzle. This was the day where he actually decided to go back on the same voice actor account and shout my account out. He actually noticed the original announcement that I made, like about the character sharing voice actors account. I mentioned earlier that he was the one who showed me how to properly crop photos on Twitter, so he knew about the account since day one, but he hadn't shouted it out until now. He wanted to, give me a bit of room to get things sorted out before he did. I think before this, I had about like 200 followers on the account. And then by the end of the day, I had like 1.1K just about to my memory. So a huge follower boost. And like I already said, I'm very, very thankful to Cuzzle and everything he's done, not just for the same voice actor daily account, but also just helping me out and encouraging me through my journey with this account. So, yeah. This post is what I would consider the first big post on the account. It's the first one to break 1,000 likes, which is crazy. It's the first of the April Fool's posts that I made. Chihaya Mifune from Persona 5 has the same voice actress as Chihaya Mifune from Persona 5 Royal, of course, voiced by Sarah Ann Williams. Those who have followed me for basically any amount of time know that like half my brand on Twitter, not just on the characters sharing voice actors account, but also on my personal account, is based around my love for Chihaya Mifune. I love Chihaya. I think she's very underrated compared to the rest of the P5 social links, and I'm glad she's part of my first ever big post. The most insane part about this, though, is that Sarah Ann Williams herself actually noticed the post a day after I had made them, and she left a comment. I remember freaking out when I saw the notification. I just couldn't believe she had actually seen my posts. It's something that's going to be etched into my brain forever. Huge thanks to Sarah, not just for taking the time to comment, but also for voicing our favorite country bumpkin fortune teller. This one with Hank from Detroit Become Human and Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob SquarePants, both being voiced by Clancy Brown, is just one of my personal favorites. I still think about it every now and then to this day. It's not one of my most popular posts, as you can see, but I absolutely love it. Those who know me personally know that I had a very brief phase at the beginning of middle school where I was really into Detroit Become Human. I kind of cringe looking back on that point of my life, but I guess it's also why this one post has kind of remained, when I think about it's kind of endearing in that way, I guess is the best way to say it. Detroit Become Human itself is not a very good game in hindsight. If you want a game with better experience overall, just go play Disco Elysium, please. It's such a great game. But anyway, yeah, this one's one of my personal favorites. I love it. So here it is in the Hall of Fame. The next Hall of Fame post, and also the second shit post entering the Hall of Fame, is the one based on Fiddlesticks from League of Legends, and Wingman from Valorant, both being voiced by Kellen Goff, which I think is one of the most insane posts I've ever made. It's a crazy one to me. But I would consider this shit post probably the one I put the most effort into. The word demon and goober I had to make from the letters that were already in the original hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby image that this shit post is based off of, because I couldn't find the font that was used for it, so I just decided I'd like slap together the letters to make the words because they were all there. I also had to like find a model of Wingman, because I wanted to like make him into the baby and not just have him like overlaid over it, which you can see. It, yeah, it's one of my favorites. I wouldn't say it's my absolute favorite. That goes to another post that we'll be getting into somewhat soon. But it is, like I said, the one I put the most effort into. So, yeah, there's that one. Entering the Hall of Fame next is yet another shitpost. This one is based on Nemesis from Hades 2 and like this gun buddy thing from Call of Duty, like a Call of Duty game, both being voiced by Becca Q. Ko. This is actually the second version of the shitpost. The original one I made didn't have Nem with the headset and controller, but then I thought about it for a little bit and went back and edited it to give her the cattier headset and the controller just because I thought it was funny. I think this has like 8.4k likes right now, and it remained my most liked post for a while until another post, which we're going to get into later. It's based on that one meme image of like Akihiko telling Makoto from Persona 3, like, Yuki, your dog is cracked at COD, and then it has Koromaru's cut in, but no image of COD. It's just that. And I thought, since this is literally a post about COD, I might as well make a shit post based on that. So yeah, there's that one. This next one is the first ever joke post I made outside of the Chihaya Mifune April Fool's posts. It's Skelly from Hades, has the same voice actor as Skelemius from Hades 2, voiced by Darren Korb. The joke, of course, being that Skelemius in Hades 2 is obviously just Skelly from the first game, but he's just pretending he's some grand general character. If you've played Hades 2, then you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this was the last of like the Hades 2 marathon that I was going through. I ended it here because I didn't really want to milk the Hades 2 hype train a bunch. And it ended up being a great place to end on because, you know, it got pretty popular. But yeah. Here we have another request post. In Japanese, Milo Morbius from Morbius has the same voice actor as Yusuke Kitagawa from Persona 5, voiced by Tomokazu Sugita. This one is another one of my favorite posts of all time, not just because it's really funny, but also because it spawned my favorite shitpost that I've ever made. One of my followers quote tweeted this post saying like someone should edit like that image of UCA going, "We need to kill AI artists," to say we need to kill Jared Leto. And I saw that and I made that, and it's probably the lowest effort that I've ever put into a shit post, but it's simultaneously my favorite one. I think the stretched image of Jared Leto is just, it makes it so funny to me. I don't know. It's so stupid, but I love it. I love this post. I love the shit post that I made because of it. And yeah. Next in the Hall of Fame is a very special post. March 7th from Honkai Star Rail has the same voice actor as Nikki from Honey Pop, voiced by Skylar Davenport. This is special to me because this was posted on the same day that I posted my gender reveal to the account, which is when I came out as trans to you all. And I posted in the replies to this one, March 7th, because if you know, you know. And to explain why I said that, it's because of the popular fan theory that March herself is trans. So, you know, I come out as trans. There's the fan theory that March is trans, you know, T-girl and T-girl. So, yeah, a very special post that will hold a special place in my heart. So, yeah, here it is. Entering the Hall of Fame next is yet another one of my personal favorite posts of all time. It's Dojima from Persona 4 having the same voice actor as Saxton Hale from Team Fortress 2 in the Jungle Inferno short, both voiced by JB Blanc. I believe the Jungle Inferno short is the only official piece of TF2 Media where Saxton Hale is voiced, which is pretty cool. I love this one because I grew up watching a ton of Team Fortress 2 videos. I still keep up with Team Fortress 2 on YouTube. I'm a big fan of channels like Uncle Dane, you know, Lazy Purple, Soundsmith, stuff like that. So I'm very glad I was able to do this one. This one's also funny to me because like a lot of JB Blanc's characters have like a non-American accent. Like obviously like Saxton Hale is Australian, but then you have Dojima who does have that like typical accent, which I think is funny. So yeah. And here we finally arrive at the big one. This is the first of what I like to consider the holy trinity of big posts.
It's 3 consecutive posts in a row that all have more than 4,000 likes, which was a crazy moment in this account's history so far. This one is still to this day my most liked post, and that's Kanji Tatsumi from Persona 4 has the same voice actor as Jonesy from Fortnite, voiced by Troy Baker, who you should know. He's a very well-known voice actor, and I didn't actually realize this when I posted it, but Kanji and Jonesy are hitting the exact same pose, just one's facing a different direction from the other, which I think kind of contributed to how much this post blew up, but also it's just funny. Like Jonesy being voiced by Troy Baker, one of the most prolific voice actors of all time. Like I you can see it in the photo here. It's John Fortnite himself. John Fortnite himself is voiced by Troy Baker. It's it makes sense. It's my most liked post of all time. It's one of my favorite ones of all time, and yeah, it's crazy. Like my notifications were going off like days after I posted this one. Still, so yeah, well deserved of the Hall of Fame.
Next, in the Holy Trinity of bangers, we have this request by Evie Sona. Evie Sona's actually sent in quite a few requests before, but this one just turned out to be extra popular. It's Max Tennyson from Ben 10 and Lucifer from Shin Megami Tensei 5, both voiced by Paul Aiding. I actually haven't played Shin Megami Tensei 5, nor have I played Vengeance, nor have I played any of the Shin Megami Tensei games, so I'm kind of a fake Mega 10 fan. I only really love the Persona series. I haven't played any of the other Mega 10 games. I want to get to them eventually, but because of that, I'm kind of indifferent about this one. But it seems a lot of people really liked it, and I'm glad they did. This is, like I said, the second in the Holy Trinity of bangers, so yeah, here it is in the Hall of Fame. And last up in the Holy Trinity of bangers, we have this one. Fuka from Persona 3 Reload has the same voice actress as Hope from Fortnite, both voiced by Susie Young. The reason I did this one is because there's a creator, Queasy, out there. They do Fortnite little videos and also do like Persona stuff, a lot of Persona stuff. And they made a video based on some like lore dialogue with Jonesy and Hope that they had. I don't really keep up or know the lore of Fortnite, so I can't really comment on exactly what it was, but they used Kanji and Fuka's portraits to represent like their dialogue boxes, which is kind of how I found out about those two characters having the same voice actors as their ones in Fortnite. So yeah, all three of these posts, like I mentioned before, they all have over 4,000 likes, which is, like I said again, crazy moment in this account's history. So yeah, there's all three of them in the Hall of Fame. Moving away from the Holy Trinity of bangers, we have this one. Clive Rossfield from Final Fantasy XVI has the same voice actor as Jimbo from the Balatro Friends of Jimbo 3 trailer, voiced by Ben Starr. This was the first post I made after I took like a month-long break. I just got caught up a lot with things with school and work, and I was kind of not really feeling like getting into the character sharing voice actors account, but I came back with this one. I think so far this is the one and only post I've made featuring like a live action role that wasn't a dub role. I just wanted to do this one because I thought it was really funny, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm glad my return post, this one, ended up getting almost 700 likes, 655 here in the image. So I'm glad my return post was well received. But yeah, one of my personal favorite posts. So here it is in the Hall of Fame. And this one here was posted not too long after the last post. Invisible Woman from Marvel Rivals and Fuka from Persona 3 Reload, again voiced by Susie Young. Fuka is actually the first character on the account who I featured multiple times who has garnered over 1,000 likes both times. Well, this one actually has over 3,000 likes, so yeah, I guess that's just the power of Fuka. And I actually posted this on Friday, so Fuka Friday, I guess. I posted this one basically as soon as I found out that Susie Young voiced Invisible Woman. She has just crazy range, like Makima from Chainsaw Man, Eula from Genshin Impact. Yeah. Again, this one was posted not too long after I got back from the break I took. So, again, I'm glad people were still around, and this one turned out to be a mild banger. So, yeah. And just a week after the last post, we have this one, yet another Marvel Rivals post. Star-Lord from Marvel Rivals and Lucas from Minecraft Story Mode, both voiced by Scott Porter. I don't know what was going through my head when I thought that this one would be too niche. I just felt that Minecraft Story Mode was somehow niche. I thought this one was really funny, and I post whatever I want because I think it's funny, but I just thought this one was too niche, so I wasn't expecting this one to blow up, but it ended up being, I think this one is my second most liked post of all time, actually, which surprised me a lot, but I'm glad it did kind of pop off. I guess some of that obviously has to do with like the Marvel Rivals hype, but still, yeah, I'm glad this one ended up being as big as it was, and yeah, here it is in the Hall of Fame. And the final post we have entering the Hall of Fame today is this one that I posted yesterday, actually. Makoto Yuki from Persona 3 Reload has the same voice actor as Batman from DC Heroes United, of course, voiced by Alex Lee. I'm featuring this one because we've come full circle. I started this account, the first official post with Makoto Yuki, voiced by Alex Lee. And 1 year later, we've finished with this post, Makoto Yuki, voiced by Alex Lee, yet again. Yeah, it's just crazy to me how far I've come that it's been 1 year, and I'll talk about a little bit more about the journey of the account and my experience running it a little more, but yeah, that was the entire Hall of Fame. Sorry if I missed a few posts that you think were deserving of a spot in here. I just went over what I felt were the personal best ones, and I hope I compiled a good list. So, yeah, there you go. Now that the Hall of Fame is done with, like I mentioned, want to take a little bit of time to just talk about my journey with voice acting, discovering the art, and my experience running the character sharing voice actors account. This part is going to be a little bit more unscripted compared to the rest of the video, so sorry if I may stutter or lag a little bit here and there, but yeah. I hope you'll listen to me for a little bit, but if not, totally fine. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there's timestamps in the description of the video, so if you want, you can skip straight to the end. But yeah. So I've told the story in various ways throughout the course of the account's history, but I first kind of became aware of voice acting as a form of art when in middle school I downloaded this gacha game called Epic 7. The first post I technically made on this account, actually, not like the first post, being the Makoto Yuki Bruce Lee one, but the first post I ever made on this account was from Epic 7, like the intro of the game when you first start it. I thought it was poetic with like, the whole idea of like the same voice actor daily account being, kind of rebirthed through what I was going to do. Of course, back then I had no idea how far the account was going to go or how long I was going to be maintaining it, if I was ever even going to reach 1 year. But yeah, I remember I first hearing the main character, Ross, however you say his name, speak in the game. He's voiced by Griffin Burns. I remember hearing his voice lines for the first time for his third skill and thinking, wow, he sounds so cool. And later on, when I was playing the game actually has its own official forums by the devs. And in one of the forum posts, they made a post like crediting all of the English voice actors. And that's when I first began to realize like voice acting is a career. that people do. Like, this is something that people actually do. And from that point onward, I just became more engrossed in the world of voice acting. Like, the reason that I joined Twitter in the first place was to follow my favorite voice actors. And I've just been keeping up with the art ever since. And I love voice acting so much. And, you know, voice actors, especially here in America, the United States where I live, just get treated like pennies. And it's just a shame because I think voice acting is such an important art. You know, like, it doesn't matter how you look like, as long as you sound the part, then you can be anyone, you can be anything. And, you know, we've seen time and time again, like, big, like, animated movies, they'll cast like famous celebrities in voice acting roles, and it just doesn't sound good. And that's because of how, like, different voice acting is compared to live action acting. It's a whole different thing. I'm not gonna, like, be like elitist or whatever, saying like, oh, voice acting is better than live action acting. They're just different skill sets, you know. And, you know, live action acting is its own art form that I have an appreciation for, especially now that in college I'm taking a film class. But voice acting is just the one I found out first, and the one that has stuck with me for this long. And a big part of my journey through being a fan of voice acting was the original Same Voice Actor Daily account, you know, ran by Cuzzle. And that account had, you know, appeared on my timeline every now and then. I followed the account, and I shared quite a few laughs with the various same voice actor facts that the account featured throughout the years. And I saw Cuzzle announce that he was stepping away from the account, and that was really sad to me because of all the memories that the account had given me throughout the years, the laughs and whatnot. But something that stuck with me in his announcement stepping away from the account is he encouraged people to make their own version of the account. And I read that and I thought to myself, well, I love voice acting, you know. It's something that I hope becomes my career one day. And I like being here on Twitter as much as of a hellhole it is, especially nowadays. Haha. But, you know, I like being on Twitter. I loved the characters, the Same Voice Actor Daily account. And I just thought to myself, wow, I have the opportunity to do something really cool here. I have the opportunity to make my own version of the Same Voice Actor Daily account, to put my own spin on it, to continue sharing the art of voice acting with people all over, this art form that I've grown to love and appreciate over the course of years. And I thought about it for a while, and I mentioned earlier in the video that when I went to go make my first post, I was just so nervous. Like, my heart was beating so fast, and I was literally shaking in my class when I went to make that post, because I wasn't sure if I could ever live up to what the Same Voice Actor Daily account was doing. But over time, I've come to accept that, like, I don't need to be what Same Voice Actor Daily did for me. I'm happy just doing my own thing, and I'm happy that I've had the opportunity to run this account for as long as I have, and it's been a really great journey. I'm really grateful that I get to share these facts with all of you out there, and I'm very grateful that I have any sort of audience. Like, even if Cuzzle never shouted me out, even if I never had those big banger posts, even if I never had the almost 4,000 followers I had today, if I just had, like, the 200 followers that I started out with before Cuzzle shouted me out on the same voice actor daily account, I would have been grateful. I wouldn't have been any less grateful. Just having any sort of audience. When I first started the account and I made the announcement on my personal account that I had made it, I didn't expect like more than like a dozen people to notice, let alone that there being so many people who noticed. Like, I think my announcement post has like 120 something likes, which was insane to me because I was just a no one account, my personal account at the time. I was just, your average Twitter user. So I wasn't expecting anyone to notice, but, Cuzzle himself noticed. And he's been a very encouraging voice throughout my journey running the character sharing voice actors account. He, like I mentioned before, he's been there since day one. He was the one who showed me how to crop photos on Twitter, which I literally did not know you could even do before he pointed it out to me. I'm very, very grateful for him, not just for making the same voice actor daily account, for running that for a few years, but also him just being supportive of my journey running this account. Please do go check him out if you're interested in Fortnite content, which he does. He's a great creator, worthy of your support. And yeah, that's kind of my journey with voice acting, with running this account. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but thank you to everyone who has been with me throughout this journey, no matter when you started following me, or if you even follow me, if I'm just a random voice that happened to appear on your timeline once or twice. Thank you, everyone. I can't believe I have a platform of this many people who love voice acting and want to share laughs with me as we take a look at these crazy voice actor facts. I'm just so grateful. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Thank you, everyone, from the bottom of my heart. I'll talk to you all later sometime. Yeah.